So you're thinking about moving to Kenosha, Wisconsin, or maybe you already live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and you'd like to make sure you have places to visit as well as things to do in the area. Well, let me show you some great examples that I discovered for myself. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Moving to Milwaukee channel. Today I want to talk to you about some recreational options that you might want to consider in Kenosha, Wisconsin. If you've seen my last video, then you've seen that I've done just a short introduction to the area, as well as talked about real estate, convenience, transportation, and my experience in a local hotel. But today I want to talk about what things locals might want to do when they get to the area. I'm going to cover parks, I'm going to cover a few places to eat and drink, and not to mention a few museums that I came across when I visited the area that actually are very interesting and are very cheap to the public. So with that said, let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about, even though it's a little cold right now in the Midwest, but I do want to touch base on a very popular topic, which is 5 local parks in Kenosha that are along the Lake Michigan lakefront.
Southport Park is on the southern end of the city of Kenosha and is right off 1st and 2nd Avenue. There's lots of space to run in the grass as well as trail space to walk along with you and your furry friends. It's right off the Lake Michigan coastline, so you can watch the waves roll off the rocks as well as stare off into a beautiful sunrise, kind of like how I'm looking at right here. Eichelman Park is just off the city of Kenosha, offers lots of green space, numerous benches to sit and enjoy the views of the lake, as well as a small sandbar. Also right off downtown Kenosha is Simmons Islands Beach Park, which is a nice big green space just north of the city of Kenosha, right off the Kenosha Beach on the Lake Michigan shoreline, as well as a small canal for a spot for numerous boating and sailing enthusiasts to park their boats. Also just north of the city of Kenosha is Kennedy Park, named after former President John F. Kennedy, and off the street known as Kennedy Drive. This large, wide open green space offers numerous room for playtime activities.
And the last on my list is Penoyer Park. This park is just north of the city of Kenosha and all the other parks I mentioned, and has a large sandbar and a green space too, with lots of room to run on the grass or the sand. And if you want to find a place to live close to these amazing places that I'm describing in this video, my name is William Loos. I'm a local real estate agent in the Kenosha and Southeast Wisconsin area. And if moving here is somewhere in your future, reach out to me today. Let's talk. I talk to people all day long about their housing goals and would love to give you a warm welcome and become a part of our great state of Wisconsin. So if moving to Kenosha or let alone Wisconsin is in your future, reach out to me today. Let's talk. Now, Kenosha is known for being a bit of a harbor town, so with that said, there are a lot of boaters and sailors out that have docks on the Southport Marina, which this is a public facility with a private feel of a yacht club. And sailing enthusiasts can get slips for the summertime for all of their nautical needs on Lake Michigan. Storage and reservation rates are on a first-come, first-served basis, so as a sailor, it's best to stay updated on what is available for docking in the Kenosha area. The marina's amenities offer a full-service feel to all of its nautical clientele, serving everything one may need for their life on the water. An inside heated storage, mechanical services, and a 75-ton travel lift is just to name a few of the many amenities that the Southport Marina offers to its clientele. Now, when you're hungry or thirsty in Kenosha area, where do local residents go for their watering hole? Well, when I stopped in Kenosha, there was a good number of places to eat and drink in the vicinity, from restaurants to coffee shops and local pubs. One is sure to find a good place to have a bit of bite to eat, as well as something to quench the thirst. Now, one place I did stop at for a quick Coke was called the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. This spot was along the channel where boaters come to pass and park. There's an outside deck and a few different areas though throughout the restaurant for dining as well. The Boathouse has a full menu with a good amount of seafood options to boot, including oysters Rockefeller, Asian yellowfish tuna, and mahi-mahi. I'll have to come back one of these days to try more of their delicious options, but this place is very popular to the locals as it gets very good reviews. And if you've seen my last video on Kenosha, you know that I've definitely recommended the 1844 table and mash at the Stella Hotel and Ballroom. Fine dining and cocktails comes with a very sophisticated feel when you step into this space. And when I did stop back, I did try another one of their craft cocktails known as the New York Sour, which is a spin on a classic cocktail as well, which with their own little taste on it. And this one was a basic bullet bourbon, whiskey sour, but what makes this cocktail a New York Sour is they add a little red wine float, usually a Pinot Noir or a red blend, but this added a very sweet berry flavoring to it as well. So like a sweet and tart taste to this cocktail. Very good for sipping on, and it was strained over a nice big cube with a dried lemon to boot. Along with this cocktail, I've had the pleasure to try the New Glarus Spotted Cow beer battered cheese curds. Now, for those who don't know, New Glarus is a brewery in Wisconsin, and Spotted Cow is one of the cream ale brews, very popular amongst the locals. I highly recommend trying it if you ever get a chance to pick some up for yourself. But this was beer battering of these cheese curds, and they were very delicious and not too greasy to the touch either, which made it a little more enjoyable and easier to eat. Good finger foods for yourself or to share with your friends. And not to mention, they give you a nice but mild sriracha ranch along the dip. And for those who know me personally and very well, you would know that I am a huge ice cream buff. And what can I say? Something keeps us all young at heart. So with that, I recommend Scoops. This place offers numerous options, including options for those four-legged furry frames when you are walking them around the block. But in short, the ice cream here is absolutely phenomenal. And there's between a couple dozen flavors to choose from, as well as the quality of ice cream. I have to say, comparing this to a couple places I stop at regularly around the greater Milwaukee area, this place goes toe-to-toe, if not actually beats them out, which is pretty huge for me to say if I'm playing ice cream critic a little bit correctly here. But by all means, whether you are here with your family and want to treat your children or treat yourself for that matter, come by Scoops and get your sweet tooth fix on. And this wouldn't be a real visit to a Wisconsin city without a couple great breweries to visit. I stopped at two in the downtown Kenosha area, then they really woke my beer palate up. One I stopped at was called the Rustic Road Brewing Company in the heart of downtown Kenosha. This place has offered daily food specials and a list of in-house craft beers. Personally, I love ambers, so I tried what was known as the Hazelnut Harvest. Emphasis on hazelnut because it had a really nice, nutty flavor to it, almost like this sipping on dessert. And this had some very great flavor, which I might have to say it could be a new favorite amber for me. Another brewery that I did check out while I was touring Kenosha was known as the Public Craft Brewing Company. Now, this brewery has been around for 12 years and has recently been opened up in Kenosha in 2020. Fun fact, they were bought out by their parent company, a reputable local brewery and one of my favorites in the greater Milwaukee area, Lakefront Brewery. Public Craft offers a number of great tastes for those beer lovers and has recently started doing tours on Saturdays at noon and 2 p.m. This brewery offers a Pilsner, a couple Ambers, IPAs, and fruited sours for its local beer patrons. Now that is what I call beer for the people, as they put it. A couple of coffee shops that are in the area and have great reviews and deserve an honorable mention as well are the Buzz Cafe, which is also in the heart of Kenosha, and they have a variety of delicious coffee options, a carefully curated wine list, as well as a couple craft beers and a menu of very amazing eats. And in one other coffee shop that I implore everyone to check out is known as Anna's on the Lake. This is a coffee house that sits just inside the channel off of Lake Michigan and has excellent ratings on their food and drink options. And you can order these and enjoy yourself as you face out to the east, out to the waters of Lake Michigan. And if you're like me, a history buff and want to enrich yourself in a little rich history on the area, as well as some of the eras before our time, I implore you to stop at a couple of museums right along the lakefront. The Kenosha Public Museum showcases artifacts and exhibits dating all the way back to the Paleo-Indian eras over 10,000 years ago, keeping facts local about the lands in Kenosha, Wisconsin specifically. The Kenosha Public Museum is open to the public and is free general admission. And next door to that museum is the Civil War Museum. This place not only talks about the Civil War era and the brave men who fought to end slavery, but also the many men from the parts of the Midwestern states, let alone southeastern Wisconsin, who volunteered and marched up to battle to fight for their country. Fun fact, when it comes to all the people who died in the Civil War, 2 to 1 died from disease rather than gunshot wounds. The museum offers numerous facts about the Civil War eras in history and is $9 general admission. Well, guys, that is all I have for lifestyle and recreation in Kenosha, Wisconsin. If you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe at the bottom. Stay in the loop for when I release new content. Also, it helps me out, which in return helps you out. And what would be a place that you would visit in Kenosha, Wisconsin, if out of everything that I mentioned? Feel free to comment at the bottom. I love being able to interact. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.